All right. Mercy of the internet. I'm back with trying to read Caitanya Caritamrta. We just had a very interesting boat trip to an island called Panita off Bali that's very popular, and visited one temple. It's in a cave, inside a huge cave, and inside this cave is Vishnu and with Vasuki, and there's some goddess, Chinese famous goddess, Kuan Yin, and a few other deities. And so we had a beautiful, huge cave. This cave was used as a headquarters by the Japanese in the war when they were conquering over Indonesia. Beautiful kirtan in there for quite a long time. Many, many devotees purifying the whole place. So Caitanya Caritamrta, this is Madya Lila chapter 1, starting with verse 83. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Srimati Bhakti Vedant Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaur Avani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya De Satarani. Om Agana Timirandasya Ganagana Shalakaya Chaksur Militanina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Vande Rupa Sanatano Shri Jiva Gopalaga. Kirtana Krishnot Kirtana Ganana Tanaparo Premamritamdo Nidhi Dira Dira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmatsaro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripavaro Bhuvivubo Varavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Bhagavayugo Shri Jiva Gopalago. So, Bhagavatara Shloka Gudarta Vishada Karinyam Rup Goswami Shloka Kaila Loka Bhajanaya. In one verse, Rupa Goswami has explained the confidential meaning of the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam for the understanding of the gentle populace. Yeta Lila Rasa Hari Mala Odgari Banya Parita Danya Choni Vilasati Vrita Madhuri Bi Tatras Mabis Chatula Push Ashupti Baba Mugdan Tartabi Samvitastam Kalaya Badan Lasi Venur Vivaharam. Gopis continued, my dear Krishna, the fragrance of the mellows of your pastimes is spread throughout the forest of the land of Vrindavan, and which is surrounded by the sweetness of the district of Mathura. You may enjoy your pastimes with your flute dancing on your lips and surrounded by us, the gopis, whose hearts are always enchanted by unpredictable, ecstatic emotions. This is a verse from Lalita Madhava by Rupa Goswami, 1038. Emata Mahaprabhu Deki Jagannate Subhadra Sahite Deke Pamsi Mahi Ate. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath. When he saw him, he saw that the Lord was with his sister Subhadra and not holding a flute in his hand. Jivanga Sundara Braje Brajendra Nandana Kahan Paba Evancha Vade Anuchana. Absorbed in the ecstasy of the gopis, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu wished to see Lord Jagannath in his original form as Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, standing in Vrindavan and appearing very beautiful. His body curved in 3 places, and his desire to see that form was always increasing. Radhika Unmada Yaiche Udava Darshane Udgurna Pralapa Taiche Prabhura Rachi Dine. Just as Srimati Radharani talked inconsistently with a bumblebee in the presence of Uddhava, Caitanya Mahaprabhu in his ecstasy talked crazily and inconsistently day and night. Purport. This Unmada madness is not ordinary madness. When Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu talked inconsistently, almost like a crazy fellow, he was in a transcendental ecstasy of love. I think everybody's experienced that to some extent. If you hear lovers talking, sometimes it's just sweet nothings. There was a song, Sweet Nothings, just talking. And they're just so happy to be with each other. He was in transcendental ecstasy of love. In the highest transcendental ecstasy, there's a feeling of being enchanted in the presence of the enchanter. When the enchanter and the enchanted become separated, mohana, or bewilderment occurs. When so bewildered due to separation, one becomes stunned. At that time, all the bodily symptoms of transcendental ecstasy are manifested. When they are manifest, one appears inconceivably crazy. This is called transcendental madness. In this state, there is imaginative discourse, and one experiences emotions like those of the madman. The madness of Srimati Radharani was explained to Krishna by Uddhava, who said, "My dear Krishna, because of extreme feelings of separation from you, Srimati Radharani is sometimes making her bed in the groves of the forest, sometimes rebuking a bluish cloud, and sometimes wandering about in the dense darkness of the forest. She's become like a crazy woman. Dwadasha Vatsara Sheshe Aichi Gonaila E Mata Shesha Lila Chi Vadane Kaila." In the last 12 years of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu were passed in this transcendental craziness. Thus he executed his last pastime in 3 ways. You have to excuse me for 1 minute. Thank you for tolerating. Sannyasa Kori Chabisha Vatsar Kaila Yeye Karma Ananta Apara Tara Ke Janibe Marma. For 24 years after Lord Chaitanya accepted the renounced order, whatever pastimes he executed were unlimited and unfathomable. Who can understand the purport of such pastimes? Udesha Karite Kari Digdarshana Mukhya Lilara Kari Sutra Ganana. Just to indicate these pastimes, I am presenting a general survey of the chief pastimes in the form of a synopsis. Pratama Sutra Prabhuda Sannyasa Karana Sannyasa Kari Chalila Prabhu Shri Vrindavana. This is the first synopsis. After accepting the sannyas order, Caitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded towards Vrindavan. Purport. Clearly, these statements are a real account of Lord Chaitanya's acceptance of the renounced order of life. His acceptance of this renounced order is not at all comparable to the acceptance of sannyas by Mayavadis. After accepting sannyas, Caitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to reach Vrindavan. He was unlike the Mayavadi sannyasis who want to merge in the existence of the absolute truth. For a Vaishnava, acceptance of sannyas means getting relief from all material activities and completely devoting himself to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. This is confirmed by Srila Rupa Goswami, 12255. Anasaktasya vishayan yatarham upayunjate nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchate. For Vaishnava, the renounced order means completely giving up attachment to material things and engaging non-stop in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Mayavadi sannyasis, however, do not know how to engage everything in the service of the Lord because they have no devotional training. They think material objects to be untouchable. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. The Mayavadis think that this world is false, but the Vaishnava sannyasis do not think like this. Vaishnavas say, why should the world be false? It is reality. It is meant for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For Vaishnava sannyasi, renunciation means not accepting anything for personal sense enjoyment. Devotional service means engaging everything in the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of God. Good advice for everybody, actually. Premete vivala bhaya nahika smarana radha deshe tina dina karila brahmana. When proceeding toward Vrindavan, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with ecstatic love for Krishna, and he lost all remembrance of the external world. In this way, he traveled continuously for 3 days in Radhadesh, the country where the Ganga does not flow. That's Nityananda's home. Nityananda Prabhu Mahaprabhu Laya Ganga Tire Laya Aila Yamuna Baliya. First of all, Lord Nityananda bewildered Caitanya Mahaprabhu by bringing him along the banks of the Ganges, saying it was a Yamuna. Shantipura Acharyara Grihe Agamana Pratama Bhiksha Kaila Tahan Ratre Sankirtana. After 3 days, Lord Chaitanya came to the house of Advaita and accepted alms there. This was his first acceptance of alms. At night he performed congregational chanting. It appears that in his transcendental ecstasy, Lord Chaitanya forgot to eat for 3 days. He was then misled by Nityananda Prabhu, who said the river Ganges was the Jamuna. Because the Lord was in ecstasy of going through to Vrindavan, he was gladdened to see the Jamuna, although in actuality it was the Ganges. In this way, the Lord was brought to the house of Advaita Prabhu at Shantipur after 3 days, and he accepted food there. As long as the Lord remained there, he saw his mother, Sachi Devi, and every night executed congregational chanting. So he benedicted all the devotees who were feeling so much separation and, had heard that he was going to take sannyas and they couldn't quite believe it. Even Sachi Mata heard rumors, but she just threw them out. She just said, can't be true. But it was true. So heartbreaking for everyone, but also just really to increase everybody's feelings of separation. Mata Bhakta Ganera Kori Lamilana Sarva Samadana Kori Kaila Niladri Gamana. At the house of Advaita Prabhu, he met his mother as well as all the devotees from Mayapur. He adjusted everything and then went to Jagannath Puri. Purport. Caitanya Mahaprabhu knew very well that his acceptance of sannyas was a thunderbolt for his mother. He therefore called for his mother and the devotees from Mayapur, and by the arrangement of Sri Advaita Acharya, he met them for the last time after his acceptance of sannyas. His mother was overwhelmed with grief when she saw that he was clean shaven. He was no longer any beautiful hair on his head. Mother Sachi was pacified by all the devotees, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked her to cook for him because he was very hungry, not having eaten anything for 3 days. His mother immediately agreed, and forgetting everything else, she cooked for Lord Chaitanya during all the days he was at the house. Then, after a few days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested his mother's permission to go to Jagannath Puri. At his mother's request, he made Jagannath Puri his headquarters after his acceptance of sannyas. Thus, everything was adjusted, and with his mother's permission, he proceeded toward Jagannath Puri. She was, of course, crying and stay here, and he explained to her that you can't do that because as a sannyasi, staying in his hometown will be criticized. And then she didn't want him to be criticized. So then she said, at least stay in Jagannath Puri because devotees go back and forth often, and then they can get news about him. She can hear what he's up to. So even Lord Chaitanya would send devotees to tell his mother what he's doing and try to make her feel better. So his mother and his wife, they experienced this intense separation. And his wife, Vishnupriya, she lived until 93 years old. She was only 16 when he left. And all she did was chant all the time and eat a little bit of rice. And at first she wanted to suicide, but he told her not to. Somehow or other, not exactly dream, but however the Lord does that. And he told her make a deity out of a certain tree, and he did that. And that's now said to be the deity at the temple of Mahaprabhu, Navadvip Mahaprabhu in Navadvip, Mahapdam. So very big and beautiful deity. Bhate Nana Lila Rasa Deva Darshana Madhava Purira Kata Gopala Stapana. On the way toward Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed many pastimes. He visited various temples and heard the story about Madhavendra Puri and the installment of Gopal. Purport: this Madhava Puri is Madhavendra Puri. Another Madhava Puri is Madhvacharya, who was a spiritual master of a devotee in the line of Gadadhar Pandit. In the sense, in the Bengali it says Madhav Puri, but in Prabhupada translated Madhavendra. And who wrote a book known as Sri Mangala Bhasya. Madhvacharya, however, is different from Madhavendra Puri, who is mentioned in this verse. Chira Chura Kata Sakshi Gopala Vivarana Nityananda Kaila Prabhu Danda Banjana. From Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the story of Chira Churi Gopinath and of the witness Gopal. Then Nityananda Prabhu broke the sannyas rod belonging to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purport: the Chira Churi Gopinath is situated in Ramuna, about 5 miles away from the Balasore Temple station in the Northeastern Railway, formerly known as Bengal Mayapur Railway. This station is situated a few miles from the famous Kharagpur Junction station. Some time ago, the head of the temple was Shamsundar Adhikari from Gopi Balapuri, which lies on the border of the district of Medinipuri. Shamsundar Adhikari was a descendant of Rasikananda Murari, the chief disciple of Shamananda Goswami. A few miles before the Jagannath station is a small station called Sakshi Gopal. Near this station is a village named Satyavadi, where the temple of Sakshi Gopal is situated. Kruda Hana Eka Gela Jagannath Dekite Dekiya Murchita Hana Padila Umite. After his sannyas rod was broken by Nityananda Prabhu, Caitanya Mahaprabhu apparently became very angry and left his company to travel alone to the Jagannath temple. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu entered the temple of Jagannath and saw Lord Jagannath, he immediately lost his senses and fell down on the ground. Sarvabhauma Lana Gela Apana Bhavana Tritiya Prahare Prabhu Haila Chaitanya. After Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannath in the temple and fell down unconscious, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took him to his home, and the Lord remained unconscious until the afternoon, when he finally regained his consciousness. That's a long story. The author is enticing us to want to read more and more by giving this little previews. Nityananda Jagadananda Damodar Mukunda Pache Asi Mili Sabe Paila Ananda. The Lord had left Nityananda's company and had gone alone to the Jagannath temple. But later, Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodar, and Mukunda came to see him, and after seeing him, they were very pleased. Tabe Sarvabhauma Prabhu Prasada Kodila Apana Ishvara Murti Tanre Dekaila. After this incident, Lord Chaitanya bestowed his mercy upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya by showing him his original form as the Lord. Tabe ta Kalila Prabhu Dakshina Gamana Kurma Chaitre Kaila Vasudeva Vimochana. After bestowing mercy on Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the Lord started for southern India. When he came to Kurma Kshetra, he delivered a person named Vasudeva. That was a leper. Lord Chaitanya embraced him and he became completely healthy. And Lord Chaitanya took compassion on him because he saw that worms were sucking on the bloody sores he had, and one fell off and he put it back and you have to eat, So Lord Chaitanya embraced him and immediately all the sickness was gone and he was healthy, and then he was worried. He said, I was very ugly and repulsive and, I could be humble because I knew I was, but now I'm a very beautiful, how am I going to stay humble? Good question. People ask that all the time in classes. How do you be humble? Lord Chaitanya told him, just chant Hare Krishna all the time, then you'll be humble. As if we're chanting in the right mood, that this is, please give me your service. Service means you're humble. So if we're begging for service, that's a humble mood. So I request everybody to try to remind me and pray for me, and also to think of that yourself. Because many devotees nowadays, I ask them, what do you want? I want prema. I want prema, but that's more advanced, and that comes about from humility. After visiting Kurma Kshetra, the Lord visited the South Indian temple of Jayada Nrsimha and offered his prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. In this way, he introduced the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in every village. Godavari Tira Vane Vrindavana Brahma Ramananda Roya Saha Tahani Melana. Once the Lord mistook the forest on the bank of the river Godavari for Vrindavan. In that place he happened to meet Ramananda Roy. Srimala Sripadi Stana Kaila Darshana Sarvatra Kalila Krishna Nama Pracharana. He visited the places known as Tirumala and Tirupati, where he extensively preached the chanting of the Lord's holy name. Purport. This holy place is situated in the district of Tanjore, Chittoor, South India. In the temple of Tirupati is situated in the valley of the Venkata and contains the deity of Lord Ramachandra. On top of the of Venkata is the famous temple of Balaji. At the bottom now is the famous temple of Radha Govinda and the 8 gopis of ISKCON and the big guest house, which is mobbed with people every day, and displaying Bhagavad Gitas everywhere, like anything, all over the city, town, or whatever it is. Tebe ta Vashandi Gane Kodila Dalana Ahovala Nishinghari Kaila Darashana. After visiting the temple of Tirumala and Tirupati, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu had to subdue some atheists. He then visited the temple of Ahovala Nishinga. Report. The Ahovala temple is situated in Dakshinacha in the district of Karnula with the subdivision of Sarbela. Throughout the whole district is a very famous temple in which is appreciated by all people. There are 8 other temples also, and all of them together are called Navanishinga temples. There is a much wonderful architecture and artistic engraving work in these temples. However, as stated in a local gazette, the Karnula Manual, the work is not complete. Shiranga Chaitra Ila Kaver Ira Tera Shiranga Dekiya Preme Ila Astira. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu came to the land of Sri Rangachetra, in the bank of Kaveri, he visited the temple of Sri Ranganath, and there was overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love of Godhead. Sri Mala Bhakteragare Kaila Prabhuravas Tahani Rahila Prabhu Varshat Chari Vas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in the house of Trimala Bhatta for 4 months in the rainy season. So I have to leave now. Thank you all very much for listening, and please bless me. I really need it. How'd it go?